Good evening. How are you? I am Kamau Kujichagulia, and this is On the Case with Kamau Kujichagulia, where each week we bring to you a special guest or conversation about the Trenton, New Jersey community, or New Jersey, or United States, or the world, or the universe, or whatever comes to mind. Um, Tonight, we usually have my son, but he's a bit busy elsewhere tonight. He's starting a new business, and you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you have to be there. You can't jive around. You got to do what you got to do. So he's doing what he has to do at the with his new business endeavor. So we want to wish him much success in that, and that he makes a whole bunch of money so he can take care of his old daddy and his daddy's old age. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Good. So let me see here. Where are we? What are we going to talk about tonight? Last week I was talking about that billboard that I saw on 295. It was about. It said, I forgot what it had said, but it said, "Stand up to Jewish hate." You know, I looked it up on the internet, and what they're actually talking about is um, supporting Jews and anti-Semitism. But to me, what it meant, in the context of what's going on in Gaza right now, was that we need to stand up um, to the hatefulness of the Israeli Jews that they're perpetrating against the Palestinians in Gaza, because that's really an ugly, hateful situation over there, where these people are, you know, they say, the Jews say one of their slogans is "never again," but they seem to have meant that to mean never again against them. It's not that they stood up and they're saying this, what happened to them should never happen to anyone, because they obviously don't believe that, because they're doing pretty much the same thing to the Palestinians as what the Nazis did to them. May not be on the same level, but it's the same thing. When you just constantly kill when you're killing innocents because they don't happen to look like you. They don't happen to think and to praise God as you do. And what's going on in Gaza is, I mean, it's to me, it's unbelievable. I couldn't imagine that, like we had the Black Lives Movement. Well, we say, you have to support Black people. I couldn't. The difference between supporting Black people when they say that, and the stand up to Jewish hate when they say that, is that I can't even imagine Black people turning around after being supported, after asking for your support, and then coming down or like that on anybody else. It just wouldn't make any. I just can't imagine that. And the Jews are asking for us to embrace them, to stand up for them, while at the same time they're beating up and downing somebody else, another people. I mean, come on, why would I stand up for you under those circumstances? That doesn't make any sense, you know. And I don't. I look at it. Look, I'm standing up. It says stand up to Jewish hate. I'm standing up to the hate that the Jewish people are perpetrating on the Palestinian people. I am totally and completely against that. And we have in our country, we have Biden. We have Biden. We have many of the Democrats, most of the Democrats, most of the Republicans who want to support what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians. We support it. Now, I mean, you can listen to all the junk you want to listen to, what comes out of their mouth, but the government of the United States, the Bidens, the Senate, the Congress, they continually send funding for weapons and ammunition to Israel to continually bomb and beat up and kill and maim Palestinian men, women, and children. So I don't care what their words say. I'm only interested in what their actions are. And the actions of Biden in this, I can understand us being on one side or another side. But when you say that you will support something or someone or a nation, regardless of what they do, regardless, that to me is completely irresponsible. And that is what Biden has done. He's said that regardless of what the Israelis do, he will support them anyway. And here we are, some 33,000, possibly 50,000 men, women, and children dead. And he's still sending more weapons. He's still sending more ammunition. He's still standing by them. And I can't be with that. I can't be with that. That's irresponsible. That's like when Trump came out and said that to cure yourself from the COVID virus, you shoot yourself up with some good old bleach. Now, before that, I look at Trump and say, well, he's a dumb, foolish guy, but he's like all the rest of them as far as I was concerned. But once he said that, to me, that was irresponsible. And once you become irresponsible in my mind, I don't want anything more to do with you. At that time, Trump said, shoot up bleach. That was it with me and Trump. There's nothing more that he could say or do that would make me see him in a different light. When Biden said that regardless of what Israel does, that he will always support them, that to me, that's totally irresponsible. And I will never, ever, ever, there's nothing that Joe Biden can say to me or do for me that would have me support him again. Because, when you're cool with killing tens and tens of thousands of men, women, and children, and now it isn't so much, well, it is so much, but not only are they bombing them, but now they're starving them. They're letting them die of thirst. They're letting them die of disease. How cruel, how ugly can you be to do such a thing? I mean, what kind of people? And I'm talking about Joe Biden here. I'm talking about Joe Biden himself. Because if he wanted the Israelis to stop this, they would stop it. Boom, just like that. So I'm talking about Joe Biden. What kind of a person is he that would allow people, children, babies, women, pregnant women, old people to starve, to just starve to death because you won't allow food in, to turn off the water, purposely turn off the water, to bomb and destroy hospital, medical facilities, to kill hospital staff. So Biden is cool with that. He says he's going to support Israel regardless of what they do. And, that's cool. Biden can do what he wants to do. I have to do what I want to do. And what I want to do is no longer support Biden or anyone who says that they will support Israel regardless of what they do. Because dig this. If my wife went over and got one of my grandchildren and cut their heads off, I say, well, hon, I love you. I love you and I support you. But I'm not going to let you cut up any more of my damn grandchildren's head. I don't support you there. There's a line that I would draw even with the love of my life. Okay? I would not support her killing my grandchildren, or a lot of other people for that matter. But, she does not get a carte blanche okay from me to do anything. And because to me that's irresponsible. And Joe Biden has given a carte blanche okay for Israel to do anything. And he says he will still support them. Well, that's his business, That's his business. It's my business to say, nah, bro, nah. So Joe Biden will never, ever, ever, ever get a vote out of me. Ever. And any other person who says that they will support Israel regardless of what they do. Nah, I can't support that because to me that's totally irresponsible. So anyway, that was talking about the stand up to Jewish hate. Okay. Later for that. Understand. Now come on back to Trenton. Where Starbucks is closing. I understand. That's downtown. And Starbucks, when they opened. There was his sister. Oh man, I went over to her house. She was somebody's what? I forget. But anyway, his sister who was the manager down there, and she passed. She was young woman, very young woman. And she passed a few years back, but she had been the manager down at Starbucks there for a while. I just can't draw it back in my mind who I went to her home with. But when Starbucks started, it was there as a training ground for young people in Trenton. And from what I understand, they did a pretty good job. I don't understand. I don't know why they're closing. Maybe they didn't. They weren't profitable. I guess that's mainly why they would close. I don't know. But anyway, I hear that Starbucks is indeed closing downtown in Trenton. But on the other hand, since Starbucks opened down there have been many other restaurants and eateries and other businesses that have opened. So that's going to be a main corner where someone can take it over and really have a nice business in there. Someone with some initiative can come in there and really have a very nice initiative. The only thing wrong with down in Trenton is parking. These damn meter maids, man. And it's not just the meter maid, it's the city. The city needs to provide some type of parking to help these businesses down there. You have the I know when you go up along like over by the Justice Department, these cars are parked there, and they have these the stands there where you get the ticket and you put it in your window. You go by and drive past the windows of the cars parked down there, but you don't see no little tickets, no little white tickets, and also you don't see any parking tickets. And I'm saying to Trenton Parking Authority, not Parking Authority, but Trenton Police Parking, that, those are the people you want to ticket. The people who come from out of town and just park on our streets for free. Okay? That way we get money from out of towners instead of what they do. They come into the neighborhoods and they want to ticket us. We're the ones that run that support the city as it is. Why you make life more difficult on us? So but anyway, downtown in Trenton, they've got to find some type of parking for people so that they can go to these restaurants and other places downtown and not have to worry about coming out and having a $40 ticket on their car. I don't know how you do that. I don't know. It's not my job. That's the administration's job. Okay. I'm still looking for the administration to get the water cleaned down in the city of Trenton. Okay. Because, we for 10 years, we've had a problem with our waterworks. And when Reed Gutierrez got into office, when he was running for office the first time, the big thing was the waterworks. And he was going to come in and he was going to do something about that. And he did. He worked on it. But, we're still getting notices that the water may not be safe to drink as is. You have to boil it or whatever. What I'm saying, Reed, you've had 5 years to get that right. 5 years to get that water right. That's long enough. And you talked about a city council that supported you or didn't support you. Well, you've had a city council now down there for about a year. I guess it hasn't been about a year. I guess they just came in November, huh? Anyway, you have what you say you wanted. We expect to see results. I don't expect to have water, which is a basic. I don't expect to have to worry about my water. That's not cool. Okay, so at least get the water problem cleared away. That's a double 100 there. I was talking, and there are many things problems that we have today, like homelessness. We have hungry kids. We have people who are unemployed or underemployed. We have pain. It's where people who don't have health insurance, people who medical care is deficient. And these are problems that we have racism. These are problems that we have now. These are problems that 50 years ago, if you go back, we had them 50 years. Remember, what's his name? Marvin Gaye. What's going on? His great album. What's going on? He was talking about the war, and he was talking about homelessness, and he was talking about suffering. And that was 50 years ago or more. And here it is 50 years later, and we still have the same thing going on. And I was thinking, it almost doesn't matter. People, we talk about it, we say something should be done about it, but nothing seems to be done about these problems that we have. And it seems to me that in another 50 years, we're still going to have the same damn problems. And why? So what's the sense of having all these politicians and legislators, and they're spending all this money, this tax money, they keep taxing us? What's the reasoning behind having all of this if they're not really going to solve the problems that we want solved? You know, you get tired of fighting for the same thing year after year after year. How long have we been fighting against racism? How long have we been fighting against white supremacy? And, 400 and what, 5 years later, we're still fighting against it. It's a damn shame is what it is. Is what it is, And we've had some really great people out there to try to stand. But now, I know what TikTok. Now they want to get rid of TikTok. Why? Because it's hurting the profit of Facebook and Instagram and these other American social media companies. So they talk this mess about China doing something. And we have how do you have 180 million people using something and then say that, well, you can't use it anymore because it's not good for you? How do you tell us? How do you tell 180 million people in America? I mean, that's most of the adult population in America. How do you tell us that what is good for us? We're not idiots. We can decide what's good for us. But, Facebook and Twitter and these other huge mega companies have the Congress people and the Senate people in their hip pockets. And, well, I shouldn't even say their hip pockets. They got them in their money pockets. So they say, look, we're losing money because of TikTok. Can you do something about TikTok? And because it's a Chinese company, that's easy because now they've got everybody in the country thinking that China is this great big bad wolf breathing down somebody's neck. China has never done anything to damn near anybody. America has had wars with basically the entire world for I don't know how long. And we want to beat up on China. How is the drug problem in Trenton? Hey, cuz, I know that's a serious topic for me. Weigh in if you have time. Yeah, the drug problem is well, you know what, Bear? The drug problem is a lot better in Trenton because they've made marijuana legal and they're no longer pulling these young kids off the street and putting the burden of criminality on their backs for the rest of their lives. That's a good thing. Okay? That's a very good thing. As for crack and other drugs, I guess they're out there. But I don't see them. Well, of course, I'm not in that culture anymore. I was thinking about having a little snort, but I'm not there anymore, so I really don't know. But getting the cops, getting the legal system off of the throats of these youngsters, off youngsters, everyone, because of something like marijuana, that's a big step in the right direction. A big step. Of course, they only did that because it's going to put more money in their pocket. It's something else for them to tax. Damn Democrats. I know you're in PA, but the Democrats have been in control in New Jersey forever. And last week they were talking about raising the taxes again on gasoline and on electric cars. If you don't use gasoline, they're going to get you by just putting a surtax on electric cars. Democrats are doing it. That's what people. You got to understand something. I know black people have been Democrat. We've been a solid thing of supporter of Democrats for what, 80 years, 75, 80 years. But you have to remember, people always say we have to be unified. Well, we are unified. We're definitely unified in supporting Democrats. And they say, well, if that doesn't work, then you have to change. Okay, it did change back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, 1900s, up until about 1930, 1940. Black people were solidly Republican. And once that did not work for us, we said, okay, let's change to be Democrats. And we became solidly Democrats. I mean, we're unified in that. And it hasn't been a good thing for us. It hasn't. It hasn't been good whether it's been Republican, whether it's been Democrat. We need to start our own political party. That's what we need to do. And if the Democrats and the Republicans want our votes, they need to come to us with programs which are going to benefit directly our community. Okay? But, right now we just vote Democrat and we get absolutely nothing for it in return. Nothing. All right, we have running for governor. We have, I don't know, somebody, Tammy, what's her name? Murphy, and somebody. I don't know. Also, behold, I'm not talking about Larry Ham now. I'm not talking about Larry Ham. But have they ever mentioned anything about reparations? Anything? Okay. No, but we'll vote for them anyway because we say, well, if we don't vote for them, then the Republicans will get in. Well, the Republicans haven't been the ones beating us up for the past 80 years. Believe it or not, Republicans in New Jersey are not the ones who have been beating us up for the last 80 years. It's them damn Democrats. They do absolutely. Look at the cities. Look at the cities where mostly people are Black and Hispanic. But let's just talk about the Black because we were there longer. And for all the time that we've been here, the cities which used to be up here are now way down here. The schools in the city, Trenton High used to be one of the best rated high schools in America. Okay, but as it turned blacker and blacker, it went down here. This is because the Democrats allowed this to happen. They stopped funding our cities. I mean, Camden, Newark, Trenton, Elizabeth. They stopped funding these cities the way that they were funded when they were when it was when they were white demographics here in the city. Okay. So I mean, you have to recognize what has been going on. It has nothing to do with money. They got all the money in the world. They keep taxing us, shit. It has to do with Black, and you've got to understand that these Democrats, who Black people who have been voting for, have consciously denied us of the resources that we need to build and to expand our communities to make them strong, just like they gave the cities the resources in the past when they were white, the resources that they needed to build and expand the city when they were here. These mugs are doing this stuff on purpose. It isn't something that just happens because Black people are lazy, Black people are shiftless. You know, black people are some of the hardest working people in the world. Okay, they're doing it because they're purposely keeping black people down. They're being racist. Okay, it's just that simple. The Democrat, and we're talking about. I'm talking about the Democrat. I'm talking about. Um, they just came up with a diversity study for New Jersey, which showed that black businesses in this state get less than 1/2 of 1% of the business in New Jersey. We were doing better than that 150 years ago in 1865. So, and like I said from the jump, things that we were fighting for 50, 100 years ago, we're still fighting for that same junk. That same junk. Yeah. Same thing is happening in Philadelphia. Same thing is happening in every black area that you go to. I don't give a damn where you go. If it's predominantly black, Hispanic, it's the same thing happening all across the country, all around the world. Okay, so we got to. I don't know what to do about that. I really don't. I know one thing of what I do. I don't vote for Democrats. Not in New Jersey. Well, I guess I don't vote for Democrats since I am in New Jersey. So we've got to become smarter. A lot of Democrats we had Democrats that belong to the county Democratic Party and blah 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 blah. They say, oh well, if we work from within, we can change it. But nigga, you ain't changed it in all these years. When you gonna start changing it? Black people get in positions. Have you heard anything? Anything? What's the dude's name? Who's our black senator? Cory Booker. Have you heard anything from Cory Booker about fixing up Trenton? About fixing up Camden? About going down to Vineland and doing something in Vineland? What has Cory Booker done for black people? What's the sense of having a black man in office if he ain't going to do nothing for black people? That's why we put him. We put you there, bro, so that you can help us. I'm not saying you don't help other people, but you got to help us. That's why we voted for you. And they don't do it. They don't do it. Okay? The cities, Trenton is worse off now with Bonnie in Congress, with Cory Booker in the Senate, with all the black representatives we have here in the state. Trenton is worse off than it was 50 years ago. Look at our schools. This is crazy. We talk about how our kids are our most important resource, and we just spit on them. Go to these poor schools. Go ahead. Go to these schools. Come on. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know what to do. I really don't. I'm 76 years old, and I've been fighting this fight for 50 years. And I am no closer to having solutions than I was 50 years ago. It's horrible. It's horrible. The one thing that I believe can change our condition is some serious reparations. Reparations represents resources. We seriously need serious resources. Money. I'm talking about when we say resources. We need money. Okay? And enough money so that we can build on our own. we don't have to depend on somebody else. And, reparations means to repair. For centuries, they beat us, they cut us, they tore us down, and now we need to be repaired. And that's what reparations could do for us. That's the only thing that I can see right now that will help, is if we have our own. And we deserve it, because we worked for centuries, worked, millions of us, millions, tens and 20 and 30s and 40s of millions of us worked every day, all day, for nothing, and had all the money that we should have had taken away. And this went on for 400 years. 400 times 100 million times 16, 18 hours a day. They owe us trillions upon trillions of dollars. Trillions. I'm not talking about M. I'm not talking about B. I'm talking about T. Trillions. I ain't talking about 1 or 2 trillion. I'm talking about 50, 100 trillion dollars. That's what they owe us. That's what we need to start building our own. But as long as, and we keep paying taxes, we keep paying trillions of dollars in taxes. And as long as we keep giving it up, they keep taking it from us, we'll never have the resources to build our own. And that's it. Okay, I gotta go. I have to go. Next week, Natalia Armstrong will be here. I want to thank everybody who was here. Cousin Barry Harmon, and Michael Coven. Mike, I saw your daughter at Nonstop Fitness, the gym that Marcus and Brittany own or run over on Route 1. Nonstop Fit. If you want to go to a gym, go to Nonstop Fitness on Route 1. Okay? Black owned. Beautiful gym. Beautiful. You go in there, you would actually think it was a white gym. Okay? That's how nice it is. Okay? So go to Nonstop Fitness on Route 1 by right there where the old, I guess you young people don't know, where the old drive-in used to be. Right up from the Mercer County Library off of Darrell Lane. So yeah, Mike, I saw your daughter there. And I saw Shirley. I just love Shirley so much. Okay, I'm going to go. Sharon, say hi to Sharon for me. I'm going to go, and I'll see you next week when we have Natalia Armstrong on, hopefully. And then the week after that, we're going to have a sister from North on, and then maybe Mama Edie will be here. So we're going to have some guests. We'll start having guests back on the show. All right. Love you all. Thank you, Sean. And we'll see you next week. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Good night.